Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about the web hosting comparison. So I will compare each of the web hosting, whether it is good or who is the best web hosting provider. So let's begin. The web hosting that I'm going to compare is comprised of six provider, which is Biz.nf, Free Hosting EU, AwardSpace, Free Hosting NOADS, Free Web Hosting Area, or Free WHA, or and the last but not least is 000webhost. But before we are going to compare, I would like to start with the definitions of web hosting. What is it? Web hosting is one of the service that has become necessary in development of personal website and website for small and large e-commerce business, because the critical function of web hosting is to keep a web online 24/7, 24 hours and 7 days a week, which is all the times. You guys know as all the times, and it is very important because as a person who run the e-commerce website, or in whether it's small or large, the importance of that is that the visitor will come, and if the visitor is come too many people, that's why they need to keep it online. When it's keep it online, people will have contact with you, so it's very important. And I'm going to compare. In the first part is the overall features comparisons. I recommend you for two provider, which is Biz.nf and AwardSpace. Why? Because as you guys know, the dispatch of Biz.nf is only 1 GB and the data transfer is 5 GB. The activation fee is free, and the domain that allow you to use is only one, and subdomain is 3, and the total numbers of websites allowed to host is 4, and Biz.nf is the only provider that is the green web hostings, which is it is known as eco-friendly hosting. So if anyone looking for a provider that serve you in green web hosting, Biz.nf is a good choice for you. And for another provider that I recommend is the AwardSpace. AwardSpace provide this space for 5 gig and data transfer for 5 gig too. The activation fee is free, and the domains allowed is 1, subdomain is 3, and the total number of websites allowed to host is 4, just like Biz.nf. But the disadvantage of AwardSpace is it is not green web hosting. So you see the difference, right, between Biz.nf and AwardSpace. There's something similar and something different. You can choose whatever you like. And I would like to recommend you another provider, which is Free Hosting EU. This is, I think, the only one disadvantage for Free Hosting EU is the dispatch, because the dispatch of Free Hosting EU is only 200 MB, which is so, if you compare with AwardSpace, is 5 GB. So you see the difference, right? But the advantage of Free Hosting EU is that they provide you the subdomain up to 5 subdomain, and you can host the total number of websites up to 5 websites. So it's very such an advantage for Free Hosting EU. But yeah, you can choose whatever you like. And for about the scripting and databases comparisons, the providers that I recommend you comprise of 4 providers, which is Biz.nf, Free Hosting EU, AwardSpace, and Free Hosting NOADS. But I recommend you the most is AwardSpace. Why? As you can see from the first line, PHP support for AwardSpace is comprised of version 5, version 7, and version 8, which is the advantage for AwardSpace, because other provider only provide you for the PHP support only version 5 and version 7. And yeah, you can see from that. And for the pose and CGI they give you, and they also provide you a 3D extensions which you can use this to create image online. And for the database, every provider here used MySQL as its database. And about the data center, AwardSpace also almost has everywhere around the world: USA, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, Europe, South America, Asia, and Africa, and the rest of the world, they almost have it. And I think here is the advantage too. But for the Biz.nf, free hosting EU, and free hosting NOADS, only free hosting EU that offer the information that their database is located in Germany, which is in Lambda Data Center in city of Kiel. In this data center, it is very efficient and trustful, because like this data center connect between North America and Europe, which is widely known as its backbone, and very trustful for it. But I think AwardSpace has the most recommended features and PHP version. I think it is very good for you to choose AwardSpace. And about the control panel, all four that I recommend you here using control panel as well, which is very good, because other two like free web hosting area or freedom USA is and 000 web host, they use the free control panel, which is you can choose it. And about the FTP account, almost every provider here provide you one account. Only 000 web host that doesn't provide you any account. And for the email features comparisons, I recommend you for 4. It is Biz.nf, free hosting EU, AwardSpace, and free hosting NOADS. Almost every provider here has the same advantage. They provide you one email account, one email alias. They have email filters and pop trees and IMAP, and they also provide you auto response there, and they provide you spam and virus protections, and they also provide you SMTP, which is used for sending the email. But the specific of SMTP is that it protect your account to not receive any spam or virus. So yeah, they have these features, and I think it's very good and very cool, because other two like free hosting area and 000 web hosting doesn't provide it. So sometimes it doesn't affect much, but I think somewhere it affect, and I recommend you to use it. For the website management comparisons, now I recommend you for 4, as I recommend you in all of the provider, in all of other comparisons. But the provider that I recommend you the most is the Biz.nf, because the web builder that you can use, web builder program that you can use is Biz.nf provide you the most and have more than other provider here. Like they provide you Dreamweaver, Saki Site Builder, WordPress Blog, Joomla Website Builder. So yeah, and every provider also provide you resource usage report, so you can know how many resources that you use, and there are also traffic statistics, so it's useful and the benefit of it is to show you the visitor, how many visitors that visit your website. So you can use it for your statistic in order to know, to kind of manage your business net well. If your visitor is lower, you should make it better for the higher visitor, and I think it's very helpful for you that they provide you to know. And the last but not least comparison is the connecting and security comparisons. I would like to recommend you for 4 provider, which is Biz.nf, Free Hosting EU, AwardSpace, and Free Hosting NOADS. But what I recommend you the most is the AwardSpace. Why the AwardSpace has the most recommend here? Because almost everything here, almost every feature here, they have all the same. But what Awards has the advantage is that they have the refund service. But the client of AwardSpace who do not satisfy with the services, they can request for the refund, but they have to request within 30 days after the payment. It is very cool and very effective for them, for AwardSpace, that set their standard or their marketing target than other provider. And I think it is good for us, because sometimes I don't satisfy with the services and I just want to refund, and AwardSpace can give me that. I'm definitely gonna go with AwardSpace, and that's what I know. And here is the top 3 that I think is the most effective, and I recommend you to use it, which is Biz.nf, Free Hosting EU, and AwardSpace. But I love AwardSpace the most. For the Biz.nf, this is the additional features, like you can use 3 additional domains from .c1.bit, and there is no ad on the web page. And for the pure model, post model, you can use up to 3,200 per model, and you can switch the PHP like between version 6 and version 7. And for the one-click install script, you can use the Joomla and WordPress because it is ports. And for the Hosting EU, for the additional features, I think it is kind of higher than other provider, that they provide you the payment option, like they have the MasterCard, the Visas, and the PayPal, and they provide you 5 free domain from .eu, 5.net, and they are up to 302 3,200 per module, and they use the high-end server, because as I mentioned earlier that their data center is in Lambda.net Q in Germany, which is the backbone of the connections between North America and Europe. And the server are monitored 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. So yeah. And for about the backup, they use the RAID or redundant area of independent drive, so you can make sure that you are safe from the failure or anything that can happen, because you have to backup. And for the last but not least is AwardSpace. AwardSpace, for the additional feature that if you require domain privacy systems, you may have to pay additional cost in $10, and domain can be locked. And as you guys know, I have already mentioned is that you can refund if you dissatisfied with the services of AwardSpace. And There is also a premium versions of the service tools in order to serve for the client with the largest e-commerce website, which they may have more than 100,000 visitors per month, so they can use the premium version of AwardSpace to run their business. And the last thing is that they are able to control the EPP code too. In this table, show the summary of each of the features that is outstanding from each of the web hosting provider. I separated into 8 features, outstanding features, which is this page, data transfer or bandwidth, PHP, domain, subdomain, database, email, and SMTP. For the most outstanding web hostings provider is AwardSpace, because they are outstanding in 3 features such as dispatch, data transfer or bandwidth, and PHP. For the dispatch, AwardSpace provide up to 5 gig, and the data transfer, AwardSpace provide to up to 5 gig. Also, Biz.nf is also provide 5 gig. But for the PHP support, AwardSpace has the most supported versions of PHP, as you can see on the table. And for the domain, every provider here in this table only provide just one domain allowed. And for the subdomain, free hosting EU is the most outstanding, because this web hosting provider provide you 5 subdomain. For the database, every single provider here use the MySQL as their database. And for the emails, only 4 from 6 provided, which is Biz.nf, free hosting EU, AwardSpace, and free web hosting NOADS. But for the last feature is SMTP, only 4 out of 6 that provide this, comprise of Biz.nf, free hosting EU, AwardSpace, and free hosting NOADS. Yeah, so this is all about the features, the outstanding features. But I think in this table, AwardSpace has the most outstanding features. And this is all about the web hosting comparisons that I have recommend you. And I think you guys knows more about the web hostings in each of the provider, and I think you can I hope that I could give you the information that could help you to choose what web hosting that you should choose and utilize. Today, I would like to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you.